What if we told you the rapture you believe in is wrong? Many people believe it's a prophecy that will reunite Jesus with his believers and will be his return to the earth, marking end times. Well, we just found out this may be a lie. And trust us, this is crazy. Our team used a military psychic tool called remote viewing, which lets them see the future of our world. What's interesting is they didn't get back any Jesus. We had some energy which felt like a biblical reference in meteoroids. But what we mostly saw was aliens, and how the rapture is a wrapped-up story made by aliens, ones that are actually on Mars. And apparently, we are repeating history by believing in it. Along with the law of ones or alien abduction, it's all the same story. Now, some of you may think we're crazy, and none of this is true. Well, the team do a lot of other verifiable sessions and are incredibly accurate, so what they see could be true. If you would like to see the full truth about the rapture and end times, go to our bio.
Is the rapture an alien abduction? Let's take a deeper look. Well, the word rapture is not actually in the scriptures, but the word caught up is in the scriptures. Caught up in the clouds, in the sky, to meet the saints and him. Well, there's a lot of alien ships that actually cloak themselves. I have a few videos on UFOs where I've captured cloaked alien ships that are actually in a cloud or surrounded by a cloud or in disguise within a cloud, which are called cloaked ships. Say, for instance, a cloaked ship comes, hovers over, and starts to abduct. What would that look like? That would look like people rising up and or just zapping and disappearing, or maybe we can actually see them rising up into the cloud. All of a sudden, lately, we've been hearing about all these unidentified flying objects that are being shot down by the government. That's a whole nother video. But it's time to start watching the skies. I've already seen them. We already know that there's something that is here, and there's lots of them. We don't know if these are benevolent or if these are the angels, because Ezekiel's wheel and the chariots and all that were very similar in the Bible to spaceships. So do I think the government can actually shoot down any type of army of God? Absolutely not. So you make your own choice with that. But the rapture and an alien abduction sounds so similar, because, I mean, the way in which they portray it in the movies, you see them, a light coming down and people floating up into it. So keep your eyes peeled. We're at the final hour. The credits are rolling, and we're about to see what everything is about. Please do not get frightened. This is not fear porn. This is not anything to make you fearful, because your personal relationship with your God, your higher power, should be able to sustain you and see you through and have peace through everything. Remember, 1,000,000 shall fall at your side and the other at your right hand, and it will not come near you. Why? Because you will only witness the destruction of the wicked.
This is a prophecy received by Linda Newkirk last July 2011. My blessed child, I am your Father Yahweh, yea, Jehovah, Most High God. Listen carefully to my words to you this morning, for you come and you ask me about an event in the skies the world over, which shall surely come to pass. Hear me in this, my blessed child, and write what I say, that my people may be the wiser. I say to you, O my people, all eyes upon me, all eyes upon me, all eyes upon me. For any and all who take their eyes off of me for even a moment in these most perilous of times may very well be deceived and carried into the enemy's camp. Do you think to outsmart Satan? Do you not know that he has been the deceiver even from the beginning? He is a master of deception, and very fine at it, and he has at his disposal great resources and great armies, which you as a people are ignorant of. And his armies are far greater than you can imagine, even 1/3 of the stars of heaven who were cast down with him. Yet these are not all, but in his army are cleverly disguised robotic elements and robotic humans, as well as great numbers of his own children, who are also human. Then he also has at his disposal billions of humans all over the world who have fallen to his wicked and deceptive ways, who do his bidding and are not even aware that they do his bidding. They kill at command, they steal at command, they lie at command, and all under cover of government and official business. His chain of command is very great, and you, O my people, are grossly ignorant of him and his vast armies and means to both deceive you and to destroy you. Yet many of you think to fight these battles, for even as few of you know and understand, you fight not against flesh when you fight Satan and his many non-human hordes, but you fight against powers and principalities of great darkness, who are not human, and were never human, but fell from the upper realms. They aligned themselves with Satan to fight against the light, for they wished to overtake the light. They rebelled and fell in pride and arrogance, and are thereby filled with every evil and perverted thing. And they wish to destroy all light on this planet, and to consume it for themselves, that they might still rise up and overtake you who bear my light. So they war against those of you who bear my light. None of you true ones escape their watchful eyes, and as I have said to you, these vast armies have been cast down. But in my mercy and for the love of my elect, I bound them in a secret place, until there would come the right time, the time of my own choosing, to release them. So billions, many billions of them are bound up in this secret place. But at the time of my own choosing, I shall release them, and they shall come forth, many, many billions of them, and they shall fill the skies the world over. They shall come at a terrible time in the earth, and at a time when many feel hopeless and in despair, at a time when many think that they will escape such terrible times. Through vast mind control techniques, they will gain control over the minds of many. The curious and the spiritually weak listen, and many of them will obey the commands, and they will willingly go and enter into the ships. And many who believe what is called the early out rapture will believe that these ships are of me, for the thinking is twisted, and they will fall for great mind control, which will come at them from many directions. Many televangelists will be used, and preachers will be used, as mind-controlled stooges at the hands of Satan and these very evil creatures. And these preachers, and even certain prophets, will trumpet the arrival of Jesus for his people. Great lies, storms of lies, will beat down on the people, and such lies will seduce the weak, as great numbers, even millions upon millions of people the world over, will agree to enter into these ships. Oh, the woes! Oh, the great woes! Oh, the fright! Oh, the pain! Oh, the suffering! Oh, the sorrows! For many of you will be killed straight away. You will be served up to these evil hordes as one great feast, and they will feast upon your flesh and upon your blood, for they are not at all human. But you will see many who are part bird and part reptile, and these are the Dragos. They will eat you alive, pecking and clawing at you, and delighting in your fear as they gobble your flesh and drink your blood. For it is your life force that they wish to consume. It is your light that they wish to devour. But some of you who enter into these ships, which will fill the skies, will be saved for greater horrors. For they will invade your bodies, and will take over your bodies, and will use your bodies to further deceive great numbers of people. For their ways are not your ways. They were once of high standing in the upper realms, but they fell. Nevertheless, they are not without certain supernatural powers, and you will not understand their powers. But when you later see some that you have seen and known to go into these ships appear again before your very eyes, you will delight to see once again your friends and family, only to be consumed and devoured alive by the Drago who has taken the body. Therefore, when you see those who go up into these ships, consider them gone, and do not trust your eyes regarding them again. These Dragos will use these snatched bodies to take over many key positions in government, in armies, in important trades, and in important services. Therefore, my warnings to you to come out of the world will be more important than ever, for in your day-to-day activities you will encounter them, yet you will most certainly be deceived by them. That is, all but some very, very few of you. And this deception will be to your undoing, for I warn you now that this is coming. This is going to happen, an alien invasion, false rapture. And this will be the reward for so many who have loved a lie and who have spread the lie, that I would come for you before you have to suffer in the
Warning,
earth.
this psychic learns a chilling truth about Mars that might terrify you. His name was Edward, and he was using a military-developed psychic tool called remote viewing, which allows him to see into the future. This time, he was looking at the Rapture, or the end times. But when he looked at it, he got something different than Jesus. He felt a connection to the ancient past. He saw people worshiping gods in order to receive knowledge. These gods were called the Council of Nine. But that's when the psychic wondered, was it real? Only through mind alteration and brain implants. The gods were ancient technology entities that was there to fulfill a prophecy, which came at a cost. To be a part, you had to be a member of a cult, whether to the moon goddess, brain implant, or alien intervention. All part of the same story, which was to worship. So, Edward wondered, is the moon goddess real? Yes, it was, but it's not what you think. It was a transmission that invaded the mind from the moon, that came from Mars. And the scary part is they're repeating history again. Spooky, huh?
Approximately 2 a.m., I saw a mountainous wave of water coming from the left in my vision and getting ready to break over a coastline. I woke up. That was all there was. Approximately 6:45 a.m., I was aware that it was dusk in this dream, and my father and I were in an abandoned, deserted house. It was a one-story, ranch-style older house with dingy, white, painted sheetrock walls. There were small piles of scattered trash left on the floor from when it was abandoned. The house was full of yellow gold light throughout. He and I were looking carefully through the house. There were some military-type men, 3, dressed in black camo-type fatigues, carrying weapons. They were also looking carefully through the house. They were either not aware of our presence or didn't care. Let me grab something to drink. My father wore a dark dress suit, and I was dressed as though we were going to an important event. After looking around for some time, we decided to leave and walked out the front door. I saw that the house was perched on an emerald green, lush, grassy hill. The words grassy knoll came to mind. If you were looking at the face of a clock from my view up on the hill in front of the house was positioned approximately 7 o'clock. It was now sunset, and I could see a city skyline in the distance at approximately 1 o'clock from my view. The sky was full of brilliant colors, and the horizon and sunset were directly behind and above the city. The sky was red, pink, gold, purple, and coral, with a few elongated, scattered clouds near the horizon. I saw a wide, curving dirt road winding from the city to the abandoned house on the hill. We walked to the right of the house and started down the hill. A trumpet sounded above the city in the distance right at sunset. I looked toward the city, and a huge vision of Jesus Christ in the clouds appeared above the city, hovered a bit, and then started to move toward the empty, glowing, yellow-lit White House on the hill. Trumpets continued to sound 6 more times. People were coming out of the city, following the wide dirt road with emerald green grass on both sides. They were walking toward the empty White House, following the projected laser holographic image of Jesus in the sky. "Let's go back to the house," I said. We were very close to the front door when I turned and looked toward the city. The dirt road was now full of thousands of Christians following the holographic image as it moved toward the empty house. The 7th trumpet sounded above the people. Starting at the road between the city and the Christians, silver, unidentified flying saucers, UFOs, appeared in the sky above the people, the Christians, and started firing beams of what seemed to be laser-directed energy weapons, DEWs, incinerating the Christians on the road heading for the house. In shock at the carnage I was witnessing, I screamed, "Daddy, let's get out of here. They're going to kill us all." We ran through the house and out the back door to the other side of the hill into some trees. I woke up. When I woke up, I was not afraid. I was frozen in shock. Instantly, I knew the deceptive extraterrestrials, ETs, were going to tell the remaining people in the city, those were the ones who were operating the UFOs, were going to tell the remaining people in the city who had chosen not to follow the trumpet calls and the false image of Jesus in the clouds, that the Christians had been raptured by the ETs. That the Christians, the people on the road, had been moved to another planet to allow them time to become more enlightened and freed from their archaic beliefs in Jesus and the Bible. Their removal from this planet would no longer interfere with the earth evolving into the delusional planned New World Order. After being told this by ETs, the people in the city would believe this totally, thinking that their creator gods, small g, that is, the ETs, had returned to help the planet and would begin to worship these false gods. Everyone was deceived or deluded. They were either lied to, everyone was lied to, and some were just totally deceived and the others were deluded.
I had another dream back in like 2002, maybe it was, or maybe 2001, I'm not sure, but I had a dream that I was on a mountain. I was in Washington by the Eye of the Needle, and I was on a mountain. There were a group of people that were behind me, and there were UFOs filling the sky, like thousands of them, and they were people who were standing on the tops of skyscrapers and on the tops of the Eye of the Needle with signs in their hands saying, take me with you type thing. And I was yelling at these unidentified craft, and I was yelling in glossolalia, which is the gift of tongues that I got when I was a little boy. I was about 12 when I received that, and in my dream I was yelling at these entities in glossolalia, which is the language of angels, and I was like yelling at these beings, and they were taking these people, and what they would do, they were taking these people to hell, is what they were doing. They were taking these people who were getting beamed up in these craft, and then they would tell them that they're going to get them out of there, when really they were taking them into hell. And during the transition of taking them to hell, the UFOs would transform into literally coffins or something of some sort, demonic coffins that were taking people to hell. And I saw them, and there was so many of them in the sky, and it was daytime during this dream. And people were holding up signs, and I remember yelling at them. And it was the most intense dream. I woke up from that dream pretty shook. I was crying from that dream.
So it all started out, I was asleep, and I went to bed at a normal night, nothing different. I went to sleep, and in the middle of my sleep, all of a sudden I don't know if I was in my body or out of my body. I don't know how it happened. All I know is all of a sudden I was standing with Jesus, and he was on my right hand the whole time in this experience. He grabbed a hold of my hand, and I'll go from there. The first, I will call it a scene per se, of what I saw was as Jesus was standing on my right hand, he had a hold of my hand, and we were in a town. I don't know what town we were in. I know that there was a big white building over to the side right here, and I was looking up at this big white building, and I was looking up at the sky, and the sky was alive. It was like it was moving. It was full of lightning. It was very spooky looking, but I looked out over the horizon, and there was this lady running towards me, and she started screaming. They were all just screaming in terror. They were all freaking out. It was incredible, and they were saying, "They're gone, they're gone." And I said, "Who's gone?" And I told this lady, I said, "Who's gone?" And she said, "Did you not see?" And I said, "Did I not see what, ma'am?" I said, What are you talking about?" And at this time, she could see me. Not every time in this experience people were able to see me. In this instance, she could not see Jesus, but she could see me. And she said, "The aliens." She said, "The aliens came and got the Christians." And I said, "The aliens?" She said, "Yes, they all disappeared. They went up." And I at that moment, she just ran off. She was frantic. She just ran off. She was screaming in terror. Just ran as fast as she could. She was like panicking. And I looked out over the horizon of the city. I was up like on a hill at this time, and I could see everything on fire. Everything was on fire. The cars, the houses, the buildings. It was like chaos beyond anything you could ever comprehend. Jesus looked at me and he said, "Months before I come back to get you, they're going to talk about aliens a lot. It's one of the signs." And this is in 2014. He said, they're going to talk about aliens a lot. Like, it's going to become a big deal. And he told me, you'll know and to be watching for the great deception that's about to take place. There's going to be something take place. There's an event. You'll see. There's a great deception. It's all set up. Whenever the lady at the beginning, when I told you she was frantic, screaming, "The aliens come," it's going to be talked about in the media like all the time. It's going to start to become like, I'd almost say, the norm. And it almost is, isn't it? Kind of interesting where we are from 2014 to 2021.
The UFO landed in their backyard.
The United States government knows about UFOs.
Large non-human creatures.
Possibly an alien invasion was underway.
Unidentified aerial phenomena.
They say the proof of alien life could come within our lifetime.
Is the rapture going to happen the way the Bible projects it? Well, kinda. Let us explain. We had our remote viewers use a psychic tool developed by the military to look into the future. We had them look at the rapture, or the second coming of Jesus this time. What they got back is shocking. At first, the Bible matched our data. We had the flame in the sky. We had a biblical presence. But that's when it started getting weird. We started to get DNA manipulation, alien contact to Mars, and so much more. We can only show so much publicly. To see the full results, go to our bio.